So hey everyone, quick update with a couple of things. I guess I can mention that Shrag has had cataract surgery this week. Seems like it's improved his vision a little bit. He already has other issues, but at the very least, I know that he's pleased with it and his recovery seems to be going well. So, there's that. And overall, it's been positive. It's been a very busy week in pretty much every area. Um, Still a few life things I have to do, some stuff I'm working on, and as much as I hope to finish Winterfall 2 by the end of January, it is almost there. Not quite, but I guess I'll get into that when I talk about writing stuff in a minute. Um, but things are going okay. One of the supervisors at my job retired, which, it's going to make things, I guess, tricky for a little while, but we'll muddle through. It's just kind of like, I guess it's a little bit sad and a little bit a little bit it's gonna be complex for a while, but I know I have my boss's support, and I know the staff is usually pretty on top of things. So we'll just have to muddle through until we have some new people in place. But I can say that she sent me a very nice text message after she had left, which was kind of nice. One of those things you really kind of want to hear, or you really kind of appreciate. Just it's just one of those nice, personal messages that I just kind of appreciate. Um, because I always felt appreciated at my job, which is nice. It's like I really do feel valued. It's busy sometimes and such, but I always try and do what I can, and it's nice to know that it's appreciated. Um, so let's see. In writing news, just a couple of quick things right now. I am working on Winterfall 2, as mentioned earlier. I am very close to the end. I am on the last chapter now, assuming I decide that the penultimate chapter has reached a good endpoint. I think it probably has gone as far as it can without, at least in the first draft, without stretching it out. I may add more later, but I don't know. It's like I always kind of have the feeling when I'm writing that things are not taking as long as they feel like they should, but it's kind of hard to predict that while you're doing it. But these days I try not to worry too much about whether or not it feels long or short, and just kind of like let it be what it is and figure that out later. Um, but so far I think that overall the ending has worked out well ish. I still have one more chapter to go, which is kind of the wrap up, and then that will be the end of 2. And as far as what happens after that, it's question marky, at least for a little bit. I am contemplating the possibility of working on a short story just to give myself a little bit of a palate cleanser between novels, and also to kind of figure out what my next project is, because I still have not narrowed down the plot for what was supposed to be the active project that was going to be starting soon. So I might work on short stories. I might do that. Work on the outline and see if I can't narrow down exactly what I want this series to be, in order to get that whole shared universe restarted. I still have to figure out. I'm still working on the outline for Sunset's Edge 1 and Blue Moon 2, and a bunch of other things that have yet to be completed through the pipeline. But it's I'm not spoiled for choice as far as things to do. I would like to get at least a couple of things crossed off of my to-do list, but that's kind of what I've been working on lately. It's like I've been trying to work on the publishing aspect of things, and just getting getting Winterfall finished and out the door, and working on, starting Winterfall 2 on that whole process of editing and publishing and all that stuff. As far as, I'm still trying to figure out exactly the perfect balance of time for things that I have available to me and things that I want to do, and stuff to keep up with. But that's where I am right now. It's like I'm contemplating a couple of ideas for a couple of short stories, because I kind of would like to do at least a couple of short stories a year, like preferably maybe 4 to 6. I don't know how reasonable that is, but I'd like to do maybe 2 big projects and 4 to 6 short stories. And I was kind of hoping to start the year with a clean slate, so I could tell how well I was keeping up with that. Not like I would necessarily hold myself to it if I ended up running short, but it's also just kind of, I'm just taking it as I can get it, finishing it as I can while still, you know, keeping up what I think is a good level of quality and a story that I'm happy with, and a level of production that lets me let's see, write what I need to without too many prolonged breaks. You know, it's like I skip a night here and there, sometimes because I get a late start, sometimes because I just need a day off, and I think that's important. I mean, sometimes I wonder how people just manage to just produce things super quickly from my perspective. But, you know, I mean, I don't know when they started or how much they work on it, or, you know, what their level. And again, it's like I know that everybody's level of production is different, and it's not, you know, so much a race or anything like that, but it's just you know, it's just one of those things. Like, you can't focus on these things. It's like you just have to do what you can do the best you can, and just kind of work on it. And let's see. In video news, I think that the vlog is the only video production I'm actually going to be doing today in terms of on-camera stuff. I am going to work on maybe an audio for a book review, but I might blow that off. I have to work on the script for Red Vixen Adventures, because it is a beast of 6 novellas that I have finished, and I kind of might redo some of my earlier review comments, just because I think my opinion has changed as I've been reading the series for some of the earlier stuff, which I kind of initially, I guess, I think maybe I was expecting something other than what I should have been, or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's a very good series. I really enjoyed it, and you know, I kind of would like to overall give it you know, a pretty positive review. I mean, there's not, you know, it's I don't really know if there's anything that I would say just didn't work. You know, just it was all very, very nicely done. You know, universe with different settings, different character pairings. You know, nice world building, a lot of depth to it. It kind of felt, you know, lived in, felt real. Gave me some perspectives on some things I had not seen before. Because, you know, I used to purposely, you know, I mean, I kind of purposely, on most cases, avoid, you know, the idea of societal status. You know, that people, for reasons that have nothing to do with merit, uh, are in a higher level of society. You know, it's like royalty, nobles, that sort of thing. And generally, that's the kind of thing that I just have never been cool about, because I've always kind of been, you know, preferring notions of like equality and you know, democracy and all that kind of good stuff, which you know, these days is not as shiny as it once was. It's like I generally do fear for certain things going on in the country right now. It's like people making laws against transgender people being able to do things that have nothing to do with anything else that cisgender people have any interest in at all. Just like, it's just things like using the bathroom and updating your license and such. And it's like, I just, you know, they coded under other reasons, but it's like, you know, and I implore you, you know, if you're somebody that doesn't vote, to vote. If you do vote, to you know, vote against these things when you see them, you know, because it's just, most people are just trying to live their lives, and that's really all that there is to it. Not to get on any kind of political slant, and I think I was talking about you know, video news anyway, but you know, it's just one of those things that I just, you know, it's like I used to avoid using noble characters in stories just because, or royal characters in stories just because. I mean, not to say that you couldn't come up with, you know, good royals, good nobles, you know. I mean, it's just, I guess it's just the idea of you know, people, I guess, being of an elevated class. But I mean, I don't know if that even really is it. I guess it's just because I usually try to, you know, I mean, I guess it's a little bit of my uh, dislike for the unfairness of the world in general. It's like people that have things that they haven't earned, and people that get things that they really, that are not, they're not as deserving of as they think they are. You know, things kind of like that. And it's just, you know, I guess it's why a lot of my characters, you know, they, you know, it's like they you know, they take care of other people. They're you know, relatively selfless. They you know, they work for a living. um, you know, not a lot of upper echelons of society in some of my stuff. And not to say that, that they're all bad, or that there aren't people that, because I know that there are. I know that there are people that use that for good, that they generally do. And, I acknowledge and appreciate that. And, but unfortunately, it seems to be the exception rather than the rule a lot of times. It just, people, when they get power over other people, they tend to use it in ways that is not for the benefit of the greater good. Um, but anyway, not to get on a depressing tangent, it's like, let's suffice to say that I'm going to probably work on some of the scripts for Red Vixen Adventures. Maybe record some audio if I feel like it. Honestly, I don't know how much I'm going to do today, but we will see. Because it, as mentioned, has been a busy week, and I would like to get some Red Vixen Adventures done, but it really just depends. I mean, I'm going to work on the script today. Probably will be the bulk of it. Books I am reading. I am reading Christmas Reunion by Todd Aldrington. It's the first piece of this author's work that I've read. I mean, so far, I'd say this. I like the characters. It's started getting to some of the sexy times, I guess, which, I mean, so far, I'm kind of enjoying. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends. But it feels like it was earned. It was well situated in the story. You know, um, I am. I like the cover illustration. And so far the book is I guess going well. Um, it's one of those books where I think, like, not a lot of stuff happens, but it's kind of more like, I guess, I would call it almost a character study. And I'm so far I'm saying, I mean, I think it's going positively. I'm kind of just looking forward to taking my time and enjoying the rest of it, and I'll probably have more comments once I have had time to read the whole thing and let it kind of sink in. And whether or not I continue with this author is largely dependent on how that goes, because it takes it's tricky. It's like some I know that there's a couple of authors that I do want to at some point get on a video and talk about, and I might have just remembered a fifth one a while ago, but unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to write it down, so I'll have to think about it again and see if they pop into my head, because I know that there was four that I came across that are just like anything they put out I would like to read. And I don't really remember what the fifth one was, but I might have to just look at my book collection and see if recollection is sparked. Um, but I'm also reading Patrick Stewart's autobiography, Making It So. Um, of course, everybody knows that I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and Patrick Stewart, is one of my favorite Star Trek captains. I know he doesn't do a lot of conventions, but I still hold out hope that one day I will get the opportunity to meet and take a picture with him. I would very much like the opportunity to, just have a minute of his time and just, let him know how much I appreciate what he's done in his work. And if not, it's like that's okay too. I've accepted it as a possibility, but fingers crossed that he that he does at least a couple more. And I've got his book that I'm reading, and so far I've only read the first chapter. I'm looking forward to the chapters to talk about Star Trek, because I'm sure there will be some. But I've been enjoying it, and it's been a really good book so far, and we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to review it, because it's like, I guess I did Janeway's autobiography, but that was a little different. I mean, I probably will review it as well, just to review it along with all the other books, but we'll just see. But after I finish Patrick Stewart's autobiography, I think I'm going to read The High Kingdom by the Strange New World Star Trek book. And then by then I'll be ready to jump into Firewall, which is the Picard book that's supposed to cover Jerry Ryan's time in the Fenris Rangers, which is kind of what I was looking for since Picard started, because it seemed like it was the last big story gap that they hadn't really had a chance to cover. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. I mean, so far, my efforts to attempt to try and end up at TFF this year haven't looked pretty good. I haven't really gotten any responses to if anybody's got any room space, and I also, thought belatedly to try the Overflow Hotel, but it looks like both hotels are full. I guess I'll just keep trying for a little while longer, and eventually at some point I might just have to move on and try and cut my teeth somewhere else. But we will see. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of a little bit torn because it's like I would push harder if I knew for sure exactly when I would have the book ready. But you know, it's one of those things. It's like I remembered a little while later that I wanted to put a bonus story at the end of the novel, particularly for like folks like beta readers of mine who have already read the entire book, to give them something that they haven't seen yet. Also, I kind of like, maybe if I can, putting a little extra something in there just for S&Gs or for other reasons. Let's see, what else is there? I guess for right now, that's about it. I guess I've got some. Let's see, I've got some stuff to work on, and we'll just see what we can do. But I guess I will catch you all in 2 weeks.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. See you next time.